You know how we all love diving into new games, especially when they're free or come with cool mods? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through the dark side of gaming. I'm talking about viruses, malware, and all sorts of digital nastiness that masquerade as your favorite games or awesome add-ons. So grab a cookie and hot chocolate, and let's dive into this digital dumpster fire of gaming gone wrong. There's this wild game called Lose-Lose that's designed for Mac computers. And it's no joke. The whole point of the game is to delete your actual files, which is pretty intense when you think about it. Here's how it goes down. You're playing this space shooter style game, right? But every time you blast an enemy ship, it's not just some pixels disappearing. Nope. The game goes and deletes a random file from your computer. And we're talking permanently gone, no take-backsies. So imagine you're playing, feeling all proud of your mad shooting skills, and then bam. You realize you might have just wiped out your term paper or those vacation photos you never got around to backing up. It's like Russian roulette for your hard drive. The guy behind this digital madness is Zach Gage, and he cooked up this anxiety-inducing experience back in 2009. It's basically art masquerading as a game, meant to make you think about the consequences of your actions in video games and how they might relate to real life. Pretty deep stuff for what looks like a simple shooter on the surface.
Someday you'll have to face the consequences of your actions.
There is a Sonic fan game called Sonic Gather Battle, but it's not your typical hedgehog sprint through loop-de-loops. Nope, this little gem is packing some serious heat. The creator of this game decided to get all sneaky and hide a Trojan in there. Now, for those who aren't up on their computer lingo, a Trojan is basically a piece of malware that disguises itself as something legit and harmless. But here's where it gets really messed up. This Trojan isn't just sitting there twiddling its digital thumbs. It's out there causing all sorts of chaos on your poor, unsuspecting computer. The game can actually figure out your IP address, take a peek at what you've been searching on Google, and even edit files on your computer. And as if that wasn't all, it actually makes the game itself unplayable. You think you're in for some fast-paced Sonic action, and instead, you end up with a computer that's acting erratic. Now, you might be wondering why on earth someone would do this. Well, apparently, the creator had this brilliant idea to prevent people from stealing his sprites from the game, because nothing says "don't steal my stuff" like unleashing digital chaos. Back in September 2016, Street Fighter V players on PC got hit with a seriously sketchy update. Capcom, the game's developer, snuck in this thing called a rootkit. Basically a backdoor that gave any app on your computer God mode privileges. We're talking full admin access, no questions asked? Now, Capcom tried to play it cool, saying it was all about stopping those pesky cheaters. But here's the thing, their anti-cheat system was about as secure as a paper lock. This rootkit was so poorly designed, it might as well have been a hacker's welcome sign on your PC. The update installed this driver that could disable a key Windows security feature. It was supposed to scan for cheating tools, but instead it left a massive security hole wide open. Any malicious program could waltz right in, take over your system, and throw a party with all your data. The community caught wind of this pretty quick, and boy, were they not happy. Capcom had to do some serious backpedaling. They admitted their mistake and rushed to remove all the problematic content from the update. The silver lining? It's unlikely many people actually got hit by malware because of this. Capcom pulled the plug on the sketchy update pretty fast. But still, it was a close call that had PC gamers and security experts shaking their heads. This one is pretty weird, I'm not gonna lie. Back in June 2022, the Garry's mod community got hit with a wild prank. An add-on creator decided to pull a fast one on everyone. They go and update their popular add-ons, but when you load up the game, bam! You're greeted with a super explicit image of a man, widening his rear end, along with ear-splitting screams. At first, everyone's thinking, oh man, poor guy must have gotten hacked. But nope, turns out this prankster did it on purpose. Apparently, they were fed up with people complaining about error messages in their add-ons. So instead of, fixing the errors like a normal person, they decide to go full chaos mode. But here's where it gets even crazier. Some other troublemakers see this and think, hey, that looks like fun. So they start uploading their own troll add-ons. One of them fills your screen with explicit images and throws in some choice insults from SpongeBob for good measure. Another one's a bit tamer, just spamming you with Nico Arc memes and its sound effect on repeat. Of course, Steam wasn't having any of this. They swooped in and banned these pranksters. The offending add-ons got nuked from orbit, leaving behind a bunch of confused and slightly traumatized Garry's mod players. Just goes to show, you never know what you're gonna get when you boot up Garry's mod. One minute you're building crazy contraptions, the next you're getting trolled by rogue add-on creators. There was a game called Dynostopia that showed up on Steam Greenlight back in September 2015. It looked like your typical indie game, but it was actually hiding malware. The Greenlight page had a link to what they claimed was a beta version, but if you downloaded it, you were in for a world of trouble. Once installed, this virus would run in the background, even turning on your webcam without you knowing. Then it messed with your Steam account, rating the game positively, favoriting it, and even leaving a glowing comment under your profile. One unlucky user reported that after catching on to what was happening, the virus took control of their computer, locking them out of their desktop and asking for an admin password. After a restart, their desktop was completely wiped, with everything gone. The virus even added a message to their Steam profile promoting the Dynostopia beta. A malware analysis revealed it was using a tool called AutoIt to create scripts that ran in the background, and it was connected to an IP address known for hosting malicious content. Valve was quick to remove the Greenlight page once they were alerted, but not before it had been downloaded by an unknown number of users. The Sims 2 had this wild situation going on with its exchange site. You know, that place where players could upload their cool house designs for others to download? Well, it turned into a bit of a mess. Some clever modders figured out they could upload houses that came with a little extra surprise. These hacks would actually transfer with the house when you downloaded it, and then they'd replace the original game stuff for everyone who installed it. We're talking about things like making your Sims eternally young, or giving them magic espresso that fulfilled all their needs. But here's where it gets really nuts. These hacked houses were like a virus. If you downloaded one and then uploaded your own creation to the exchange, boom, you'd be spreading the hack without even knowing it. At one point, a player estimated that as many as 3/4 of the lots on the exchange had hacks. Electronic Arts, the big bosses behind The Sims, were caught with their pants down on this one. They took a whole month to even acknowledge the problem. When they finally did, they basically said, "Oops, our bad, we didn't see that coming." They tweaked the exchange to let users see what was in a house before downloading it, but by then, the modding community had already taken matters into their own hands. These modder heroes whipped up their own antivirus style programs to scan for hacks in your game files. It wasn't all bad though. Some of these hacks were actually pretty harmless, just adding new objects or tweaking little things. But others could really mess with your game, and that's what had everyone worried. There's this wild situation that went down with GTA 5 mods back in May 2015. A couple of popular mods, Angry Planes and No Clip, turned out to be hiding some nasty malware. This sneaky virus would run in the background when you launched GTA 5, snooping around your computer and stealing all sorts of sensitive info. It included things from usernames and passwords for everything from YouTube and PayPal to Steam and Facebook. The scary part was that this malware was so well hidden that most antivirus programs couldn't even spot it. A user on GTA forums did some detective work and found out that the virus was using something called AutoIt to create scripts that ran in the background. It could even turn on your webcam without you knowing. The malware would send all your stolen data to a server, and the hackers could use it to do things like spam your Twitch chat or launch DDoS attacks. One user reported that after they caught on, the virus took control of their computer, locking them out of their desktop. The community rallied to spread the word and help people check if they were infected. Back in 2001, this little virus called Shoerec popped up, and it was a real pain for Windows 95 and 98 users. It was an encrypted parasitic virus that infected .exe files. Here's how it worked. It would scan your current drive directory, 3 times looking for .exe files to infect. The sneaky part was that it did this in the background of a host process, so it could hang around in memory for a long time. When it infected a file, it wrote itself to the end of the file and tweaked the PE header fields. Now here's where it got interesting. About 4 months after infecting a file, if you ran it on the same computer, it triggered a weird desktop prank. It made your program icons run away from your mouse cursor like they were trying to escape. But if files were infected on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of any month, the virus randomly infected them with a Trojan routine. This surprise activated about 7 months later, erasing all files on the current drive and leaving behind a taunting message. The message claimed it was from Brain and Amjods and was dedicated to the dynamic memories of millions of virus who are no longer with us today.
Sad. Anyway.
Roblox had this whole drama going on with something called Lua viruses. Now, these aren't your typical computer viruses that mess up your PC. Nah, these little troublemakers are all about wreaking havoc inside Roblox games. Here's how it goes down. Some sneaky developers hide these malicious scripts in free Roblox models. You know those pre-made bits and pieces that game creators can use to build their worlds? Yeah, those. So an unsuspecting creator grabs one of these infected models, pops it into their game in Roblox Studio, and bam, the chaos begins. These Lua viruses are like gremlins let loose. They'll go nuts destroying objects in the game, spam chat with annoying messages, and even make the whole server lag like crazy. And these viruses are crafty. They can spread from game to game if an infected model gets used in multiple places. They'll even name themselves stuff like anti-lag or antivirus just to throw you off. Now, before you start panicking about your Roblox account or your computer, take a breath. These Lua viruses are contained within Roblox itself. They can't jump out and mess with your PC or hijack your Roblox account. They're just there to be a royal pain in the neck for game creators and players. There's this weird ransomware out there that's all about PUBG. But here's the twist. It's not pretending to be the game, it just really wants you to play it. What? Here's how it works. This cheeky little program encrypts files on your computer. We're talking images, music, documents, the whole works. But instead of demanding cold, hard cache like most ransomware, it has a different request. It tells you to play PUBG for an hour to get your files back. But here's where it gets funny. The program isn't actually checking if you're playing PUBG for the full hour. Nope, it's satisfied after just 3 measly seconds. So you could literally open PUBG, count to 3, close it, and boom, you're done. Your files are free. The whole thing is more of an annoying prank than a serious threat. It even gives you a restore code right there in the pop-up if you can't or don't want to run PUBG at all. So that's the rundown on some of the sneakiest digital surprises hiding in the gaming world. Remember, if it looks fishy, it probably is, and it might just turn your PC into an expensive paperweight. Thanks for joining me on this tour through the dark alleys of gaming. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up so I know to keep making more like it. Subscribe if you loved it, and let me know in the comments what other video game viruses you would like me to cover. See you on the next one, friends!